Okay, I think we are live, and let's have a look here. So, I announced this, which is a public live stream, in advance, 30 minutes in advance, and it's good to see that there are people here in the chat. Deacon Prepper, I saw you. You were the first in the chat. So now Bob is here, and all the usual suspects, as I often say. Um, so, yes, hello there. Good morning. B. Carpenter says good morning from Florida. I was hoping to reach the early birds in at least the eastern part of North America. It is a quarter to 12 here in Norway, and so we are reaching lots of people at this time of the day. Gierden from the Netherlands and Hachi from England. Lots of people from different places here. Salagi Bushcraft is here. That was an awesome video on your channel, the last video there, with the Welsh coming to pre-Columbus North America. So I have made notes, and I'm going to get straight to the point here. I will be looking a little bit at my notes. I have my notes here. And when I do that, I can't see the chat. If you really want me to see your comment, you can give me a super chat, because then your message in the chat will pop up so that I will see it when I take a glance here at the chat. Okay. And also, you can become a member of this channel. Then you will have access to exclusive live streams for members only. So, Norway has opened up. The restrictions are gone. And I am seeing in international media people talking about this as if the Norwegian government is very sensible, and they how should I put this now? You'll have to forgive me, because it's difficult to talk about because of the censorship. So what I will say here, I will explain to you exactly how it is. No, that sorry, I will explain to you exactly, the information that we are given here in Norway. Okay. This is not my opinion necessarily. I'm just telling you what the government itself here is saying to us, the humble citizens. If you're hearing a dog barking, that's because there is a dog barking. Okay. Norway a few days ago got rid of most, well, like almost all restrictions. And this is not because, now here I go again. Okay, this is difficult. You'll have to have some patience with me. Okay, Norway opened up because, and again, this is not my opinion, because such a high percentage of the population have had the special medication that is injected into the shoulder. Okay. And because of this, the government is saying, well, it is safe now because you had this. So they specified that this can be treated as a normal sniffle. But if you haven't had it, if you said no, and it's still very dangerous. So I hope you got that thing there, because this is not, if you are like me, skeptical of the thing, the Big Mac, some call it, the thing in the shoulder. Norway opening up is not at all about the Norwegian government being sensible and saying that, well, we understand more now, maybe we were wrong, and so on and so on. It's simply because they are saying that you all had the chance now to get this poke in the shoulder, and if you haven't, it's your fault if you die or get ill. That's what it means. Okay. So if you see someone here on YouTube saying that, well, in Norway they've become sensible, and no, it's not that. Okay, it's not that. It's simply it is the opposite. Okay, and there is another hugely important reason why they are doing this now, and there is nothing in the numbers. I have to tell you, there is nothing in the numbers that would suggest that we can open up now. There's nothing in the numbers that suggests that we can open up now if it was not okay to open up before, because it's so difficult to talk about this. I will get back to why it's even more difficult to talk about this. But if you look at the number, it doesn't make sense. Why didn't they open up before then? Well, they're doing it now. Yeah. Why? Well, it is because of what I just said here, and also we just had an election in Norway. This is very, very important to understand. This is about political pride. Okay, the current conservative government lost, and we will have a new socialist government taking over. So if you ask me, this has a lot to do with the present government wanting to be remembered as the people who got us through this. And also they are potential problems and potential new spikes will be, they're giving it to the next guy, okay? The next government. That's what it is, you know. So yeah, there is a lot more I could say about this, okay? There's a lot more I could say about this, but let me explain now why it's more difficult to talk about this than it has ever been. Google just announced that they will remove entire channels if they appear skeptical about certain preventive medications. Okay. And I really don't want that. I spent a lot of time building up these channels, so I don't want that. And also, I've already said a lot about this. But so far, so good. Um, but the level of censorship now is crazy. It is completely crazy, and it's it should make you wonder why. I will give you a little bit of information or point you in the right direction, okay? Now, Google is part of Alphabet, and so YouTube is part of Google. Google is part of Alphabet. Look at the biggest owners of that company. Make a note of those names. And then go and look at the owners of the biggest big pharma companies. You will find the same names. Okay. So, I mean, just go and look for yourself. It is very interesting. Follow the money. Okay. Yeah, I will move on. It is what it is. What I would like to say is that instead of saying go to this platform, go, why don't you move to that platform, this platform, so on and so on. I have a website. That's my main platform. You will find my videos there, no matter what platform I'm using for video hosting. And the link to my website is in the intro to all my videos, well, almost all my videos, and in all my video descriptions. Okay. So let's take a glance here at the chat. Okay, I will scroll up a little bit. Now, I was hoping we would get some trolls here, but what I do is I set this up so that only people who are subscribers to the channel can comment. But then, of course, if you're really eager for trolling, Alan Nielsen, you are onto something there. Yes, I can nod, you know. um, I will ask you if, I mean, do not unsubscribe from these channels if you are already a subscriber. It will hurt my channels if you do that. But it would be nice if you also subscribe to my website. Okay, Sweets Parade is asking for. I understand what you're saying there as that you want me to give you more facts and to prove what I'm saying. But if you had listened to what I'm saying, you would have known that I cannot do that because there are certain names and words I cannot say because of the censorship. Okay, and this has been a problem for a long time, but it's much worse now. It's much worse now. So that's how it is. Okay. So, okay. I'm just taking a glance here at the chat. Um, okay, okay. Um, okay. Yeah. So let's move on. Armchair experts. Now I'm sitting in an armchair now, so but well, it's not. No, it's an office chair, but I got it on sale actually, so I think it's a gaming chair. I don't do gaming, but it was really cheap. So, and this is a temporary office, as I've said before, and I wanted to have I didn't want to spend too much money on the chair. But anyway, um, armchair experts. Oh, there are lots of armchair experts, and I I think that they are the worst. I have decided to um, have a new strategy from now on when it comes to people who want to appear as they know it all or they know better than you. And you also have the trolls, and you have the fauna we're talking about here with trolls and armchair experts, and there are so many interesting creatures in that fauna, and they take up a lot of space. So, yeah, exactly. Stephen, Truth Seeker says you don't need to be an expert. And and it's like I I do feel that you know they want to appear as experts, and the experts that I know, they never appear as experts in a way. If you get my meaning there, they are much more humble, which seems seems to be a common theme. The more you know, the more humble you become, I believe. But my new strategy is foolproof. You know, um, it will. I don't know why I didn't do this before. I won't tell you what I'm doing, but it's foolproof and it feels much better. Um, I it's just insane. It's just insane, and it's like um, people. I've come to the conclusion that these people, they want your attention. That's why they're doing what they're doing. Um, and the real experts, they will have a very different attitude. They will never say, "Well, you're wrong. I know what's best." That's not how you approach other people if you know what you're talking about. In my experience, so um, I was hoping for some trolls here. I will demonstrate what I will do in the live chats, where I will sometimes still see them. I think. Uh, but I haven't seen any trolls yet. Don't start trolling just because you're curious. But okay. So yeah, I did get lots of. I get a lot of troll activity on certain topics. It's like strange topics, I would say. The worst is if I make a bow or shoot a bow. It's the worst, you know. Uh, and everything that has to do with Viking history. Just saying the word Viking will get all the little trolls say Viking is a verb. It's not is not a people and all that nonsense. No, Viking is not a verb, by the way. So it's like that, you know. But okay, let's move on. Let's move on. I have been, I guess, getting more into well, wow, Custard the pipe cat. Thanks a lot for the donation. Thanks a lot. Wonderful. Yeah, so I have been getting more into prepping here on YouTube. Of course, no, I'm not doing the prepping on YouTube, but um, I guess I have started to define myself as a prepper, um, and I have gotten to know other preppers through this platform. Arian Gross, thank you for the donation. You're writing here, your son is 4. His new favorite thing is bushcrafting. That's great. I believe it's important for him to learn survival skills. Yes, and the last part I'll skip, but yes, absolutely. And how wonderful! That's just awesome. So yeah, when it comes to prepping, it's one of those things where you learn every day, and there is always more to learn, which makes it so fascinating. It's like bushcrafting, you know, or well, other things as well, I guess. But what I have noticed is that there are some people in the prepping community who are showcasing an attitude that I feel is dangerous. Now, potentially dangerous, I should say. I won't mention any names or anything like that, but I will try to explain here what I mean by that. It's um, some people have a very inflexible mindset. They have made their plan and they will stick to their plan, and that's how it will be, no matter what. Um, I'm sure you've heard the saying that, well, I can't actually remember the words now exactly, but um, I have written down here. Uh, there is no the strongest will survive. No, it's not about that. The most adaptable will survive. And if you think about it, you know it's true because, especially during times of crisis, things change very fast. Typically, they change very fast. They can change in a matter of minutes. Um, and then you have to be adaptable. You have to be able to, let me look at the notes here. Yeah, be flexible. And you have to be open to new ideas and new concepts. And you have to have that mindset where you want to learn more every day, right? So having one plan, one strategy, not two, one plan, one strategy, and sitting there. I'm saying sitting there because that strategy very often involves staying put in one place, which in most cases is the most sensible thing to do. Yes, of course, but if something happens, you know, that could be a forest fire. It could be, yeah, well, I live in Norway, so I remember that day when we were expecting a toxic cloud from Chernobyl to hit the shores here. It could be that. It could be a totalitarian government sending people from door to door, knock on the doors and all that. So you have to be flexible. You have to be mobile as well. If you're a prepper and you don't have a plan for being mobile, how much of a prepper are you? I mean, if you're not prepared to move in a matter of maybe minutes, um, I would say maybe you're not so prepared, and I'm not saying that we should shouldn't be your first. Uh, you shouldn't. You should try to avoid that, of course, but um, you should have a plan for that. And I'm not talking about grabbing that 30-kilo bug out bag that you have all your Rambo equipment in. um, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about having a proper plan. Maybe you have some other place you can go to. Maybe you have friends, family in another location that you can go to. You should have different routes to get there, maybe even a plan to get there by foot. I don't know. You should have several different plans so that you will know what to do. If this happens, I do this, okay? And if this doesn't work, I have another strategy that I can use. So you need options there. Um, and and I it's good in a way to be, what's the word, hard-headed. Is that the word, when you're sort of inflexible and stubborn? It's actually a good thing, but you need to know when you should not be like that. And Finest Planet, yeah, well, um, I can mention something about the drones. Again, I'm on a highly censored platform now. Um, there are ways to avoid that. It has been tested and it works. It doesn't involve expensive equipment even. So, yeah, okay. Um, um, so let's see now. Yeah, okay, that was what I wanted to say, and the live stream is over. No, no. I have some time, and I can try to reply to your questions. And again, I forgot my glasses. It's because I woke up to this cabin in the early mornings, and it's totally dark, so I don't think about it. And then I get up here, and then I struggle a little bit. Anonymous Mills, I'm at the bottom of the chat now, I believe. Good to see you as well. Anton is asking, can you elaborate what a Viking way would look like during these times? Saying Viking way is extremely difficult for a Norwegian, by the way. Arion Gross is saying the Walking Dead show is probably more real than we think. Yes, I've been thinking about that as well, of course, except those corpses staggering around, of course, but the survival aspect of that, I did see the first seasons, and then it got a little bit, yeah, I stopped watching, but yeah, well, Viking way, well, the Vikings were highly adaptable. For instance, you can't say that the Viking house looked like this, and then you have a Viking house. No, they would build their houses differently, because of the resources, the building materials in that location. So a house on Orkney, in the Orkney Islands, would look different. For instance, would look different from a house in the interior up the rivers in Norway. So yeah, highly adaptable. That's the Viking way. But they would also bring their customs and their way of doing things and to wherever they went. So it was a kind of culture that was probably more influenced their surroundings more than they were influenced by their surroundings wherever they went, if that makes sense. That's just a guess, but it kind of looks that way. Okay. My new Tennessee home says you need to be prepared to bug out if everything goes south, but I believe your best chance of survival is being fully prepared to bug in. Exactly. I totally agree. But I would still say that I suspect that many preppers are lacking in the survival aspect. How much dirt time do you have, for instance? How many nights have you spent sleeping out in the wilderness? Can you navigate without the GPS? Can you? I mean, things like that. It's important. Just TV1 is asking, did Norway open up? I will advise you to scroll back to the beginning of this live stream, where I'll talk about that. Dustin Turner, thank you for the donation. Again, I will ask you to scroll back to the beginning of the live stream where I talked about that. Berserker Gang 2019 is here. Great channel. So a shout out to Berserker Gang 2019. Anonymous Mills is asking if I could release a video about your journey into bodybuilding, weightlifting for young men. It would be very useful, especially during times like this. Well, I could do that. I have been thinking about it. I have never done bodybuilding, though, and I have never done weightlifting. I am a powerlifter, which is different. That is a topic that will attract a huge number of trolls, by the way. And I know this because I have done a little bit of lifting in some of my videos. And you will typically have people criticizing my form, lifting form, and so on. Now, I'm actually both a personal trainer by education and a part-time education. That's not my main education, but also I am a powerlifter trainer, stage 2 out of 3 in the federation, Norwegian Federation. So it's funny, being criticized on form. The people who do that are, I believe, they do not know what powerlifting is. They do not know how to lift in such a manner that you can lift the maximum weight and so on. But I can look into it. Grim Survival is asking, Bjorn, do you have a bug out plan? I do. What situation would cause you to go? I will actually not answer to that. But yeah, there are several scenarios there. So drink water. Yes, I agree. Thank you for the donation. Drinkwater says, weak men create hard times create strong men. Yes, absolutely. Okay. German powerlifter, good name, says powerlifting is way more technical than bodybuilding and much tougher. Yeah, I would agree. Um, it is it it tends to toughens people to a level I've not seen in, not even in the full contact martial arts. I think it does something to your ability to withstand pain over time. And I've seen people, with horrible injuries. And myself, I've torn the skin clean off my hands several times at the last deadlift, and that's why. And I have to say this because this annoys me when I see people saying, "Oh, this guy, he look at me. I'm lifting a lot in the deadlift, and look at this strong man here. Oh, the mountain. He took like 1,000 kilo in the deadlift." And then I see them lift. That's not a deadlift, you know? It's like they use reps. They use reps. For most people, the weakest link in the deadlift is your grip, right? And when you use reps, um, I I think I did reps on 320 kilos in the deadlift from with reps, just to train my form in the upper half of the lift. And German powerlifter can relate to this because it's so much easier, you know. Um, and it's like, it annoys me, you know. Um, okay, I will. Okay, it's moving faster, which is good, which is good. I'm trying to. Yes, Sander from Norway, I believe, says the next thing I will buy is a Berkey water filter. Yes, water filtration is extremely important, and you should have some means of effectively filtering the water. The water filters we have will also filter out, almost said the word, tiny, tiny, tiny particles that you might call bugs, but they're not bugs. They're not alive. They are, well, minute. You can't see them. They float around in the air. This is getting ridiculous. Um, so, for how many months should I buy food? Well, for as many months as you can afford and store, I would say. Okay, I'll have to scroll down. I do miss a lot of the, the messages here. I'm sorry about that. But I see some of them. Anonymous Mills is asking, what is a good way to raise your testosterone levels? I have been going to the gym, chopping wood, avoiding synthetic hormones and milk, etc. Um, I know a little bit about that because it's obviously something that is important when you are trying to increase your maximum lift, but also it's important for your well-being and health and so on. Um, and um, it's a matter of avoiding certain things, like you should avoid soy, obviously, and you should avoid uh, processed food. Is not necessarily bad, but the problem is you don't know what's in it most of the time. So you should have tried to avoid that and eat clean food, where you have like three different things on your plate, and you know what it is, and there is nothing else in it. That's one thing. You should also try, and I'll have to say this because some people, they don't like me saying this, but I'm on a red meat diet. It has helped a lot. I'm 49 years old, so naturally you would have, the testosterone level will sink as you get older. I think it's risen. For me, it's been stable since I started measuring it, but I think it's going up now because of the red meat diet. And it's not a popular, opinion to have these days, but it is true. It is the truth. I'm just telling you how it is. If you are on an all plant diet, it will probably not be good for your testosterone levels. And yes, and also training, being active. Try to get rid of body fat, not all the body fat. Try to get rid of, try to get leaner, that's always good for for freeing up, or what's it called? There's a process when the body fat will bind the testosterone, and you get less in the free float in your body, so to speak. There Erpel is asking, how can I find this blue hooded pullover you worn in some of your last videos? It's gray actually, and it was given to me, or did I buy it? I think I bought it from a company called Camouflage. I will be an affiliate to Camouflage as soon as we got this affiliate link sorted out. And thank you for the donation. Richard M. Martinsen, thank you for the donation there. Make networks that you can trade with. You have a small community with different things and trades between us. 3 months of storage is good. Yeah, it's absolutely, it gives you peace of mind, I would say. Okay. Okay. What about Herr Janusz says, what about all the hormones and antibiotics in the meat nowadays? Well, you should try to avoid that by, I know what I'm saying here is not really an option for many people because of the price, but grass-fed beef, try to eat only that. That is actually easier to do in Norway than in the EU countries and North America, I believe. Okay. So let me have a look here. Did I see all the? I hope I didn't miss any of the super chats. Okay. Do you have an? Anton is asking, do you have an alternative to YouTube in mind? Yes, my website. It's in the video description. Behind here, you'll find it. But please do not unsubscribe from YouTube because it really hurts my channel if you do that. So try not to do that, but you should subscribe to my website, and because I will post my videos there as well. There is a bit of a delay now on those videos because it's insane how slow the internet is. That's why I'm doing the video tonight on the main channel. I had to put it like up on as a premiere because it takes 12 hours to upload a video now. It used to take like 15 minutes. I think it's because they are shifting. They are rolling out the new mobile thing network. And we're not supposed to talk about that either. Isn't it funny? So we had one Jerry. It was called Jerry. No, I think they started out with two Jerrys, and they found another one. You had three Jerrys. After that, you had four Jerrys, and then now, uh, there's a fifth one. Fifth one. Okay. I don't know if that made any sense, but a new network, and I suspect it's going to be much slower. They're not doing that to help us. No, it's for data extraction. That's what it is. Aaron Gross is asking, are there any bushcrafters from Iowa here? So I don't know. Sail Away is saying, if you are worried about a comment, it's already over for you. I don't know what that means. Ricard is saying, you talked about stocks. Do you actively trade, or are you investing in passive like funds for economy safety? Well, I can't get into all the details about my personal, finances, of course, but we are private funds here. We have that in land. I think that's what we should do. That's what we want to do, and that's what we did.